Hello and welcome to yoga. I'm glad that you can join me in some way. Okay, we're going to start, but you're going to need a block. We're going to start on the mat, sat on our block. Grab a strap just in case. Okay, so today's class, it's going to be a little bit of strength, not too much, and it's going to be a nice flow. So sit back, enjoy, find your space. So beginning to sit on that block, really just dig into those sit bones, move the fleshy part of the bottom away, just allow the sit bones to really connect down into the mat. Find that heaviness, okay? So I really mean that. Really dig into it and find that heaviness into your foundations. So finding a comfortable cross-legged position. If it's not comfortable, pop blocks underneath those knees to give a little bit of support. Going to take a deep breath and just lengthen up through the spine. Really imagine each vertebrae beginning to separate with the breath. Growing tall from the crown of the head. We've got our ribs just wrapped in, okay? We're looking here to open up through the shoulders. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths here with our eyes closed. And whilst we do that, we're just going to draw those shoulders up towards the ears. And then on the exhale, allow those hands to come down towards the knees again as the shoulders drop. Just moving with your breath, taking the shoulders up and then releasing them back down again. Just a couple more. Noticing the space between where your shoulders are and where they should be. Okay, last one here, take the shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze those shoulder blades together to really open through that chest and then allow those hands to come back down again. Okay, so we're going to start with that even breathing that we do at the beginning of most classes. So let's find that space that we are in. If you want to take your hand to your tummy, just to give you something physical to breathe into, then go ahead and do that. So here we go. Let's take an inhale for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just calmly breathing, allowing that breath to return to its usual pattern. Maybe setting yourself an intention for your practice today. Whilst you're calm, once the eyes are closed, just focusing in on whatever that might be. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can begin to open up those eyes. Ah, lovely. Okay, let's switch those legs out. All right, starting to find that opening through probably the more uncomfortable side. And then let's take the hands up high, reaching up out of the waist, spread through the fingertips. Open through the throat, bring the chin up towards the ceiling. And then begin to bring the gaze back to neutral. Take the hands, interlace them behind the head. We're going to work into some cat-cows here whilst we're seated. So drop that chin towards the chest, then begin to curl the elbows in towards one another, and then just engage through that core so that we can begin to round through the spine. Take that movement initially from the pelvis and then beginning to just start to round down. And then gradually folding, I say half, but it's more of an intention, bringing those elbows towards the floor, towards the knees, up to you. And then gradually, remember to keep that core switched on, gradually beginning to come all the way back up again. Elbows open out to the opposite wall or opposite yeah, walls. And then begin to open the chest up towards the ceiling, chin lifts. Still keeping that core switched on. We're going to start to just open through the back. And then noticing here, as those elbows are reaching, we're opening through the chest, squeezing those shoulders together. And then closing it off again, starting to bring head back to neutral. Elbows come in towards one another, tuck chin to chest. Begin to roll down through the spine. Really feel the skin pushing, or the spine pushing against the skin. Find that stretch there. I always think you talk funny when your chin is towards your chest. Sound a bit deeper. Okay, bringing up again, starting to stack each of those vertebrae. Keep the core switched on, and then open out through those elbows. Squeeze those shoulders together, and then begin to lift up through the chin. Open through the throat. Open through the chest. Keep that core in. And then bring the head back to neutral. Okay, let's take that right elbow down towards the right side. So that left elbow is pointing towards the ceiling. Check here that we've got our shoulders still in line. We don't want to be bringing that left shoulder forward. If it means we're here and still feel the stretch, it doesn't matter. So looking to draw that right elbow down. That core is going to have to be working, so the obliques are going to be really strong on that left side to stop you dropping down. And then come all the way back up, and then let's switch it out. Left elbow drops, right elbow towards the ceiling. Core draws in. Keep breathing. And then coming back up to our center. And then from here, just lift through the chin, open through the chest, elbows to opposite sides, squeeze those shoulders together. And then come back to neutral. Okay, let's take that block away. From here, we're going to just walk those fingertips forward, thinking about lifting through the chest to find length through the spine. Walk those fingertips out, and then on the exhale, begin to fold forward. Push those sit bones back into the mat. What we want to do is have that really strong connection still. So if that means the fingertips are really, really kind of walking forward and close to you, that's fine. But we want to find that stretch down the back of the shoulders. We want to find that stretch in the leading legs IT band. Keep the neck nice and relaxed. Okay, walking those fingertips back in. We're going to swap those legs out. And then do the same again. Walk those fingertips forward. Keep the palms lifted, open through the chest. Keep those shoulders back. Find length. Bring that belly in, and then walk those fingertips forward. Take the inhale, find some more length. I know you have it. Exhale, move into that space. Send the sit bones back. So if you need to push through the fingertips to get that bottom back a little bit more, then do. We want to find it through the, feel it through the IT band on that leading leg side. We should have switched out the leading legs. And then take that last inhale, find length through the spine. Exhale, come a bit lower. Find that stretch through the shoulders. And then walk those fingertips back in. All right, let's come through to our table. Let's start here. So we're going to do a little bit of work in table today. First things first, let me just turn my mat so you can see a little bit better. That's it, a bit more wonky now. So we're looking at our wrist creases being parallel to the front of the mat, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, feet are flat. Just draw the belly in, okay? Take the right foot away and push through the heel. So this is the first part. So we're not going to rush this. We want to feel it down the back of the leg. So pushing through the heel. Whilst we're here, draw that belly in. Keep pushing that right hip down so it's level with the left. Let's not open out, but draw it down. Keep the neck nice and neutral. If it's in neutral and you're gazing between the hands, then you have the longest neck that you can have. And that is a good thing. suck in the belly. All right, let's lift through that right leg now. We're going to take some circles with that foot, really small circles, but you're going to need to do quite a lot of control here. Your right butt cheek should be feeling it, okay? Your core should be feeling it. We want to be nice and stable, so our core is going to have to do quite a lot of work. Making some circles, doesn't matter which way you go, because you're then going to reverse it, so taking it in the other direction. I wonder if one way feels a little bit trickier than the other. Having to really focus. Okay, pausing there. Nice. Let's bend at the knee. We're going to squeeze through the glute to lift through the heel. We're going to do it slowly. We're going to go for 5, but it's going to feel like 10. Okay, so we're squeezing to lift, and then we're going to lower. Draw that right knee all the way in towards the chin. We're going to draw it in so we can feel the crunch through the abs, and then send it all the way away again. Lift through that right heel, squeeze to lift, keep it held there, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Let's draw it all the way back through towards the chin, crunch it in, and then send it away. 3 more, lift through that heel, keep that right hip down, let's not open up, and then bring it all the way back through. 2 more, lift through that heel, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, all the way back through. Last one here, let's lift through that heel. Nice. And then chin, not chin to knee, knee to chin, it's better. All right, take that right knee down. We're going to come into gate pose. So take that right foot out as a kickstand, left leg comes long, lift through that left arm. Okay, so we're going to start here lifting up through that left hand, push the pinky edge side of that left foot down, and then sweep that left arm all the way over past the ear. Begin, if it's comfortable for you, start to open up through that left shoulder, roll the shoulder back, starting to turn that chest a little bit up towards the ceiling. Allow the neck to be nice and relaxed. Keep breathing here. Enjoy that stretch as you reach towards the far wall, push down with the pinky edge side of that left foot, still lifting through the hips, find the ribs really pushing against the skin on that left side. Okay, and then from here, left arm is going to come up. You've guessed it, left leg is going to come up. This might be enough for you. If you've got a little bit more, we're going to bring elbow in towards knee and send it away. We're going to go for 5. We've done 1. Here we go. Elbow to knee for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one for 1. Lovely. Take that left leg down and come back into your gate pose. Sweep that left arm alongside the ear and just breathe here. Okay, let's come all the way back out. Left hand is going to come down. Take that left knee down. Take the feet together. Take the knees as wide as the mat. Come into a wide-legged child's pose. Allow the bottom to come down onto the heels. Allow the hands to be in front of you. Keep the neck relaxed as you bring the forehead down to the mat. And maybe a little bit of a sway from side to side if it feels good. Maybe it feels better just to stay still. See if you can get the weight back over the heels so you really feel into that hip space. If you've got looser shoulders, you've got a bit of space, you can always spider up those fingertips so you can lower that chest just a little bit more. Okay, and then coming back to our table. All right, so set your table back up again. Core comes in, that lower back dip comes away, and then take the left leg away from you now. So starting to push through the heel of that left side. Get yourself set up. Draw that left hip down, so we don't want to be opening out. We want to be nice and secure. Core comes in, belly tucks under. Taking some time here. This is a nice one not to rush. Okay, squeeze that left glute to lift through that left leg. And now here we go for the coordination. We're going to take some nice little circles, really controlled, so we can start to move through that glute and then keep that core engaged. You can take a right hand away. You should be able to feel that core working. Keep that left hip level with the right. And then switch directions. Come and take the other direction. Keep breathing. It's definitely a cue for me, not you, but maybe you will benefit from it. Okay, pausing there. Let's bend at the knee. We're going to squeeze that glute. We're going to be lifting from the heel. Keep that left hip down. Lift from that heel. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Draw that knee all the way through, up towards the chin. And then all the way away again. We've got 4 of these to go. Lift through the heel, squeeze and squeeze. And then draw that knee all the way through. 3 more, take it away. And then bring it all the way back through. 2 more, take that heel away. And then draw it back through. 1 more, let's make it count. Lift through that heel, draw that left hip down still. And then knee comes all the way through. Fabulous. Okay. Take that left knee down, take that left foot out as a kickstand, right leg comes long, lift from the right hand, lift up, push down with the pinky edge side of that right foot. Take a moment here in your gate pose. And then that right arm can sweep all the way past that right ear. Keep lifting through the hips, keep pushing down with the pinky edge side of that right foot. Maybe start to roll that right shoulder back and turn the chest up towards the ceiling just a little bit. Keep control of the neck, but allow the neck to be relaxed. And then really reach for that far wall. Really think about opening the ribs, feel the skin stretch down that right side. Pinky edge side of that right foot pushes down. You're going to lift through that right hand and then lift through that right leg. Start pushing away with the heel. Okay. And then this is where you can stay if you would like. If you want more, let's draw elbow towards knee and send it away. I'm going to go for 4 more. Here we go. Elbow to knee. Send it away. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Okay, we're going to take that right foot down, sweep that right arm all the way over, find your gate pose. Rest here for a moment, find that nice expression of movement. Keep breathing. And then that right hand is going to come down, right knee is going to come down. And then from here, narrow-legged child's pose, bring those knees together, send the bottom down, forehead down to the mat, hands behind you, palms are up, and allow those shoulders to just rest over the top of the knees. And again, maybe a little sway from side to side. Notice what's happening to the neck, just allow it to relax. And then slowly unwind yourself. So we're moving straight into puppy. So walk those fingertips forward and then bring the chest down towards the mat. We've got our bottom stacked over the top of the knees. The toes are uncurled. And then from here, just find that space within the shoulders. If you've got loads of space, spider up the fingertips to then be able to drop that chest just a little bit more, finding more space through the shoulders. If you've got more space, you can bring the hands to prayer, pass them over the top of your head, so the thumbs touch the nape of the neck. So breathe here. And then coming straight out, nice and slowly, heading straight into thread the needle. Right hand lifts up, left arm slots underneath right, rest on the top of that left shoulder, lift through the right arm, or roll it all the way behind you, open through that right shoulder. Keep breathing. Okay, let's unwind ourselves. Right hand comes down, left arm comes out, spider the left fingertips, right fingers or right arm slides underneath the left, rest on the top of that right shoulder, left arm can come high. Focus on opening up through that shoulder, or wrap the hand all the way behind, or the arm all the way behind to touch the top of the right thigh. And then just keeping the neck relaxed again, just being aware. I'm going to take one more breath here. Okay, taking that left arm all the way back down to the mat, push through the hand, draw that right arm out. Okay, from here, we're going to take those hands down, tuck those toes, hover the knees. Yeah, you know where we're going. Almost downward facing dog, but not quite. Let's shift the body weight forward, find your plank. Okay, from here, I'm just kidding, bend into the knees, hover that table again. Draw under the belly, find that strength, and then extend back into your plank. Really think here about pushing through the heels, lifting those kneecaps, squeeze those glutes, draw the core in, and then come back to your hovered table. And then let's find our downward facing dog. Shift the chest back towards the thighs. Keep a nice bend into the knees. Whilst you're here, think about sending those heels down whilst the knees are bent. Find that stretch through the Achilles, through the calves. Turn the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Push through the hands. And then start to lengthen through each leg. Really walk out each heel. Wiggle through the bottom. Really get that stretch down the back of each leg. Hands push down deeply into the mat. Find that length through the spine. Remember, a straight spine is what we're looking, or a long spine is what we're looking for. If it means we bend the knees, then we do. Keep turning the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Elbows are going to be looking at one another. Wrap those triceps round. Okay. Right leg's going to come high. Lift up. Keep those hips level to begin with, drawing that right hip down. And then let's come into our fallen star. We haven't done this in a while. That right knee is going to come all the way behind that left elbow. Take that right foot down and then lift through that left arm. If we're feeling particularly strong, we can lift through that right leg as well. If we're not, keep that right leg down, okay? All right, I don't know how much strength you've got, but I've not got too much. Left hand comes down, right leg comes down, and then walk those heels out. Find your down dog pause here, take a breath. Shake the head yes, and nod the head no. Find that release through the neck. Let's find fallen star on the other side. First job, let's lift that left leg. Keep that hip down on the left side. Push through the heel. Okay, you know where we're going. That left knee is coming behind the right elbow. And then come to the knife edge of that left foot. Lift up through the right arm. If you've got the strength, lift that left leg. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling. Test your balance. And then right hand comes down, left leg comes down, walk out those heels. Okay, from here, let's step, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. And then take your feet to hip distance apart. Bend at the knees, chest comes to the thighs. Grab opposite elbows. Take that ragdoll. Sweep yourself from left to right. Releasing from the lower spine again. Find space around the ears. Come to stationary. Nod the head yes. And shake the head no. Swap out that elbow grip. Let's sway from side to side. And then pause there. Begin to stack each vertebrae as you come up to standing. Taking your time. Okay, and then just roll it out. Really move through the body, shake it out, find what you need from yourself at this exact moment. Okay. From here, let's stand at the, up to you, to be honest, whether you take a little hip width distance stance or if you want to bring those big toes together. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take the hands up high, reach up, spread through the fingertips, draw navel towards spine, engage the glutes. So the quads are switched on, the glutes are squeezing. And then from here, let's take that, sit down into your chair. We want to keep the hands elevated, move the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to tuck the tailbone so that we're not sticking our butts out, but roll the tailbone under and then sit a little bit lower. Bring hands towards heart center. Take that movement around to the right-hand side. Really think about drawing left knee back. Okay, let's hook that left elbow to the right side, squeezing those palms together to draw the chest round a bit more. And then from here, just come to the toes on that left side. Just hover it, see how it feels. And then either one step or one big step or lots of little steps. It doesn't matter. Take a big step backwards to find your lunge. Push through the back heel, lift that back kneecap, okay? Still squeezing into the hands to find that twist. Okay, coming back round to your center. All right, from here, we're going to find our warrior one. So just bring that back foot in. We're going to keep the hips forward, facing, bend into that front knee, and then take the hands up high. Draw in the ribs, squeeze the glutes, roll in the pinky fingers. Take a breath. And then bring the hands down to the hips. Find your warrior three. So we're going to begin to take flight as we take the weight into the right leg. Engage that core again, begin to lift through that back leg, start to tip the torso forward. And then as you do that, you're going to come into what looks like a capital T from the side. Got no strength in my right leg, so you don't want to see this. So we're going to come into that capital T, keep drawing that left hip down, keep lengthening through the crown of the head. Maybe the arms come forward for that extra bit of core. Maybe they come back alongside you. Keep breathing there, keep pushing through that leg, looking good, looking good. And then slowly come all the way back up to your standing. Well done, better than me. Amazing. Okay, so standing up nice and tall, let's repeat on the other side. I'm going to take the hands high. Come down into your chair. Tuck the tailbone, sit a little lower. Bring hands to heart center. Take that inhale and lengthen through the spine, and then twist on the exhale to the left-hand side. Keep drawing right knee back in line with left so we don't twist round. Okay, holding it here. Nice. All right, right elbow can hook onto the outside of that right knee. Keep pushing through the hands, draw that chest round a little bit more. Keep drawing right knee back as well. Keep breathing. Top tip. All the top tips. Okay, we're going to come to the toes on that right side. Just hover it. See how it feels to be balanced onto that left leg. And then either one big step back or lots of little steps back. It doesn't matter how we get there. We're going to start to come into that high lunge. So push, push, push through that back heel, lift through that back kneecap, squeeze those hands together to draw that chest round, move the belly out of the way. Keep breathing. Okay, and then from here, coming back round to center, hands can come to hips. We're going to bring that back foot in, back foot places down at about 45 degrees, and we want our hips forward facing. We're going to take a bend into that front knee. Warrior one, bring those arms high, roll in those pinky fingers. Bring the shoulders away from the ears, draw in the tummy, so the ribs aren't flared, but we lengthen through the chin as we gaze up towards the ceiling. And then bring those hands down towards the hips. From here, come up to the toes on that right side. Begin to take weight into that left leg. And then as we do, tip the torso forward, right leg begins to lift. Keep that right hip playing down so it's nice and level with the left. Lengthen through the crown of the head, keep the neck long, gaze down to the edge of your mat. Lift through that back heel, squeeze that glute. Hands can come in front of you for extra core or behind you. Open up through the chest if they are behind you. Keep breathing, draw that right hip down. Looking amazing, well done. And then slowly and surely bring yourself back up to standing. Fabulous work. All right, we're going to play around with tree because we never go to tree, and I love tree. It's one of my favorite poses, so I think we should just play around with it. So we're going to move around, find any movements that you might need to feel free. Then we're going to take our right leg as our standing leg, okay? So from here, hands can come to hips to begin with. Either take that, not elbow, heel to the calf, or we can bring it just a little bit higher, or we can bring it all the way up to the inner thigh. I'm going to do it on the other side, to the inner thigh. And then squeeze foot to thigh, thigh to foot, okay? It's both sides are squeezing, not just one. Right elbow, knee opens out. So we've got this nice opening through the hip. All right, we're going to take the arms up like branches. All right, so lifting up. From here, we're going to squeeze the glutes. We're going to engage through the core. We're going to grow through the crown of the head. Okay. I'm wondering if we can take the hands over towards the left side, how that really plays around with our balance. I know that our obliques on the right side are going to have to work a bit harder. Bring those hands back up to center. And then take the hands over to the other side. And then back up to center. Nice job. All right, let's take the hands to the hips. You're going to see here, take a little micro bend into the knee. Just soften the knee. See if we can begin to fold forward. Okay, we're going to take a half fold here. Lengthen through the crown of the head. See how balanced we are. And then come back up to your standing. Nice. Safely remove that foot down. Make any movements or adjustments that you might need to. All right. So then we're going to go on the other side now. So using your left leg as your standing leg. Again, try and replicate what you did on the other side. So maybe it was to ankle, maybe it was to calf, maybe it was up to inner thigh. Find your space, but whatever you're doing, leg pushes against foot, foot against leg. And then from here, glutes are going to engage. Find the length through that crown of the head. Really think like you're a tree and grow tall. Okay. And then from here, let's take those arms out as branches. And then just move into that space. So take those arms over to the left-hand side. And then back to center. Oh gosh, this light's getting a hand right. And then over to the right-hand side. And then back to center. Okay, soften through that left knee so it's not locked out. It should never be locked out. Another one. And then begin, take those hands down to the hips. Begin to take that little forward fold here. Okay, and as you do, just noticing what happens to your balance. Take a focal point that's not going to move. And then come all the way back up again. Nice. Bring that foot down to the mat. Shake it out because it feels good. All right. Okay. We're going to take our step as a wide-legged stance on our mat. From here, just take the outside of the feet parallel to the outside of the mat. Okay. So we're kind of making sure that we're kind of pushing through the heels. Take the hands to the hips and just send the bottom back. We're going to stop halfway. So I want you to think here about really lengthening through the spine. So by doing that, we're going to be pushing those sit bones back. Okay. Keep the neck long, take the gaze down to the edge of the mat. And then think here about lengthening. So bottom pushes back, crown of the head reaches forward. Okay. And then bring that belly in, begin to fold down. We're going to take the outside edges of the feet. And from here, we're going to take the bend at the elbows. As we bend at the elbows, we want to imagine the sit bones coming up towards the ceiling. As the crown of the head comes down towards the mat, use the elbows as leverage. If you're up here and that is where your edge is, then that is perfectly fine, okay? It doesn't matter where you go. It's about working towards an edge. It's not about flying over your edge, okay? We want to keep ourselves nice and safe. So it's good to play around, but we don't want to hurt ourselves. Okay, hands are going to come down. Right hand is going to come down underneath where the face is. Left arm is going to lift, come into a twist. And then swap it out, left hand comes down, and then right arm twists as you lift through that right hand, and maybe gazing up towards the ceiling as well. Right hand's going to come down. Heel toe those feet in so we can come into our squat, just dropping the bottom down. And then just move through your squat. If this doesn't feel good for you, then just come into a stationary squat. But if it does, then just move through those hips. So just lifting through the feet gives you a little bit more mobility through the hip space. And then pausing in your squat. You can always bring those hands together to use those elbows as leverage. Remember, props are your friend here. If your heels are lifting and you have to work extra hard on the balance, then you can use blocks underneath the heels. Think here about lengthening through the spine. What we don't want to do is be all crunched over. What we want to do is find space. So if that means that you are using blocks, then use blocks. Okay, and then nice and Carefully bring your bottom down towards the mat. We're going to finish off in a shoulder stand and then into plow. So if you know that your feet don't come anywhere near the mat, then prop them up, prop the end of your mat up with cushions to meet your feet. If you know you don't like it, you don't like the feeling of closing off the throat, then don't do it, all right? So it's all of your options. If you don't like it, you can always just pop a block underneath your bottom or find a wall and just lift your legs. You'll get the same benefit, okay? So we're going to start off in shoulder stand. So take the shoulders down to the mat. We always want to keep the neck straight. So you're always looking down the center line. So don't look at the camera or the screen. Make sure you're only focused on yourself. So keeping that neck nice and straight, take the hands down. We're going to lift the feet, engage the core. And as we do that, just rock those knees in towards the face. So the bottom is now lifted up and off of the mat. Okay. From here, take the hands to the lower back and then start to take the weight into those shoulders. We should have no weight really through the neck. It's a shoulder stand, so the weight should be through the shoulders. And then from here, we can begin to lift through the legs. As we lift through the legs, we're going to have to really squeeze the glutes. We're going to have to really engage the quads. And then we can lift through the toes. Again, where's the weight? In the shoulders, Michelle. Okay, all of that weight should be in the shoulders. Keep that chin tucked towards the chest. And then if you're heading towards plow, bring those knees down so you're nice and safe. And then take those feet towards just over your head so that they meet your cushion or they meet the floor. So whilst we're here, you can take the hands to the mat if you want to, or keep them placed on your lower back, always keeping the gaze down the center line of the body. In plow, think here about lifting the kneecaps towards the ceiling. Focusing on breathing. And then from here, just coming out the way you came in. So lifting up through those feet. And then slowly taking those knees down. And then very, very slowly bringing yourself all the way back down to the mat. We're going to come straight into a rebound here. So we're going to come into fish. So take your block or your cushion or simply your hands and then prop yourself up onto your forearms. Begin to lift the chest. Drop the head back carefully to open through the throat. You can push down with the feet. Or if you would like to, you can always take the cushion that you've got and just rest yourself over the top of it to allow your chest to open, your chest to lift as you come into a safe rebound. Taking one more breath here. Slowly bring those feet down to the mat, okay, so the knees are up, and then just remove any props that you might have near you. And we're going to finish off in a happy baby. So just, you know where you're going, but bend at those knees, take those hands to the outer edges of the feet and draw those knees in towards the armpits. Finding space through the chest. Breathing heavily into the belly, find that lovely release. And then bring those knees together. Make any final adjustments that you might need to. And then allow your feet to head to opposite corners of the mat. And then take the arms out to wherever is comfortable for you. Finding your spinal savasana. So whatever that looks like for you. Okay. And we're going to finish today's class with a body scan. So whilst you're just settling down, eyes are closing, any fidgety bits of clothing or particularly hair has been got rid of. Just focusing in on that breath, the heaviness of the breath. And we're going to start from the foundations. So we're at the feet, just noticing what is happening. Just encourage you now just to rock them from side to side, just to release off any gathered tension. And then when you come to be still, just allow those feet to drop to opposite corners of the mat. Working up the calves, up the hamstrings, over the knees and the quads, knowing that you've worked hard today, paying attention to any sensations that might be there. And then moving up to the hips, feeling that heaviness as they weigh down into the mat. We're going to take an inhale, take a nice deep inhale, fill the lungs, fill the belly. And then on the exhale, send that breath to the hips. See if you can just become heavier in the space that you fill. Moving now up the spine, up the belly, over the ribs. You're noticing the rise and the fall of the chest. With the breath, every inhale and every exhale. Then we come to rest at the shoulders. As we pass down the shoulders, we get down to the arms, feeling that cool fabric or soft fabric that's supporting you, maybe just under the elbows. Coming down the forearms to the wrists, to the hands, maybe the fingertips curled in now. Just lightly gripping the air. And then making our way back up the arms, we find ourselves back at the shoulders. And then we take a journey up the back of the neck, all the way to the crown of the head. And I invite you now to take a nice deep inhale. Find that length through the crown of the head. See if you can find a little bit more space as you lay on the mat. And then as you exhale, sigh it away. Then we travel down the forehead and we sit between the eyes, noticing where the eyebrows are. The eyes are closed. Travel over the nose to the mouth. Maybe the lips are slightly parted. Maybe the teeth are parted too. Tongue rolls back, the jaw unclenched. And then maybe we have a little smile as we remember our intention from the beginning of class. Setting an intention at the beginning of class is always really nice, but revisiting it at the end of class can sometimes be nicer. Take a moment there to visualize it. And then we take one last deep breath here. Take that inhale. As we exhale through the mouth, sigh it all away. Beginning to bring your awareness back to now. Wiggle through those fingertips, wiggle through the toes, maybe making small circles with the wrists, making circles with the ankles. And then beginning to bring yourself back up to a seated position. And then when you're ready, you can meet me back in seated. Thank you for joining me. It's been lovely. Have a wonderful rest of your day.